Welcome to Darchin.com. Today we're going to take a look at a case for the iPad Air 2. And this is Logitech's BLOK protective keyboard case. There's a series of these that they came out with, which is just a limited selection of the various flavors of it, going from the BLOK case itself to a BLOK case with a stand, which is sort of like the sort of a extension of their AnyAngle case, and then this one that actually has a keyboard that attaches to it that makes your iPad Air look like a Surface, which is kind of interesting. So let's take a look at what you get in the box. Opens it up, kind of shows that they got the keyboard case over here with the stand and the keyboard that detaches. I decided to go with the blue one. They come in nice, interesting colors, as well as a very bland black one. So we can see that taking this out. You see it with the keyboard here and the stand itself. Now, the interesting thing about the BLOK, that's one of the big selling points of it, is that the fact that it's square edges here, is that it goes off on the principle that when you typically drop a tablet, it's going to land edge first. And so what they're saying over here in this little diagram is that there's a lot more protection, especially along the edges, because they're square, so they actually collapse in. So if it were to fall, it would actually hit and be able to kind of collapse in. So let's take a look at it. Now, obviously, the keyboard here is more inlined in. So a lot of keyboard cases tend to have the keyboard straight at the edge. This is actually more or less like almost like a laptop, just like the Surface. Obviously, there's a touchpad over here, but you can see it kind of lined up in the back there. The keyboard itself pops off, as you just saw, and holds in with a magnet. Pops in just like a Surface is. So it's got decent grip. Now it kind of depends if we can do this with it when the tablet is in place. If you can see from the edges over here, you can see that I'm going to put this to the side because it doesn't want to fold all the way over, so you can't quite do that. See inside here these little ridges here, so for support. So as you can see that if we're to hit, it will give you a bit more. It'll absorb the shock from a hit a lot more, as this diagram kind of shows what it would do. So it's not completely hard. It actually has a bit of flexibility to the body itself. So it's not completely rigid. You can see it kind of flexes a little bit, so it gives you some room to play. So now obviously it's going to make your tab a little bit bigger, but you can see over here that we have sort of bumpers. You can see over here for the volume and openings for the camera as well as the microphone. Top part for the button, as well as opening, kind of a recessed opening for your headphone jack. The groove for the keyboard, and openings for the speakers and the lightning cable there. So the big selling point, obviously, with this one, the big selling point is that you can have this kind of a flexible stand. This seems to be an extension of the stuff they used for the AnyAngle case, if you've used that at all, or have seen my previous reviews of it. Now, it doesn't seem to go as far down as the AnyAngle allows you to, but so it kind of gives you, seems like to be the maximum that it will go to. Alright, so let's go ahead and put my tablet in here, and we'll see what it's like. Okay, so here's my iPad Air 2, and we will slip this into the case and see how it works. Alright, so I'm going to kind of jam it in here. It's a little tricky to put in, I must admit. Alright, there. So it's gonna be very snug once it gets in there. There we go. There we go. Alright, pops in. There it is. So just from the case alone, you see that there is a bit of an edge to it. If I get this in this side here, there we go. Okay, so it kind of it pretty much envelops your iPad, and you can see from here, from the angle here, there is an edge to it. So there's a bordering edge. So it's not flat or anything like that. So you have the BLOK itself basically giving you about, I'd say, about a millimeter or so of protection before anything hits the surface of your tablet. So you see, once you go with the angles here, it would allow it would fall into the sides on that end, and we have the buttons here. So the buttons still work, so still work quite nicely. And if I get myself back in here, so you can see the buttons still work. Gotta push out a little bit more though, because obviously you gotta get through this layer into the button itself. You see from down here, there's quite a bit of a, it's pretty deep inset in here. You can see that the lightning cable should go in without much of a problem. I think even third-party ones should work to go into this big slot over here. And the speakers aren't covered, so you can see that the covers, that there's ample holes here for sound to escape from this side. Then the headphone jack is here, as you can see. It's actually quite buried in there, so there's quite a bit of protection available to you. So once again, you know, it's a very thick, rubbery type of material, so it's pretty sturdy. And then, of course, the big selling point is the kickstand. So what we're going to do is I'm going to move down to a lower level desk view, and we will look at it from that angle. And here we are at a desk eye view. Let's take a look at the stand, which is the cool selling point of this particular case. So you can swing it out like so. It's actually pretty sturdy. And when you put it down, you get about an angle like that, but the maximum it will go to. And it's very sturdy. I mean, it doesn't rock at all. I'm pounding on the screen here. It's not moving anywhere. So if I position it up a little further, you can do a little further, and it still stands. And it holds itself quite well. So the stand is very, very neat. So it's a very nice little addition to have, and you know, it's something that is independent of a keyboard, and it gives you that kind of surface-like feel with this stand here. All right, so let's talk about the keyboard now, because obviously you're going to want to use a keyboard with this one, because this combination has it. So we can look at the keyboard. It has a layout very similar to, say, a Surface keyboard. Say this one here. If I pull this over, it has a very similar setup where you have the keyboard keys itself further up in the tablet area, and almost like there should be a room for a mouse, but there's no mouse over here. So what's interesting about this keyboard, if you look at it, is unlike other keyboards that have a big battery for rechargeable battery, this one actually has a little door over here. And behind this door, if I get this open, is you can see that there are two batteries here. These are two standard like CR232 batteries on here, and they're used to power the device. So what's kind of nice is that in regard, if something goes wrong with the batteries, you can actually just replace these. You can buy these batteries at any of your hardware store or Walmart or Target and use them. Logitech claims that the average usage, it will last 4 years. So that's quite a claim. So let's go and turn it on. The on-off switch over here, because looking at this thing, there's not a whole lot on this thing. You got the cover. The material down here is kind of like a rubbery plastic type material. It's not very slippery, which is good. So it'll stay in place. I got the hinge over here, which is kind of like a little flap of material, and the magnet up on top, and there's an on-off switch on the side here. And so it'll work without being attached to the device. So I'll turn this on, and with the LED coming up here, it's blinking, so it wants to pair up. So we're going to pair up and start using this. So I'll go to my settings and go to Bluetooth, and we see the BLOK keyboard case right there. And it will start pairing up. All right, so yes, so push the numbers in. 744850, enter. Okay, there it is. So now it's paired up. So it's cool. So now it well, it'll work with stuff I want to use. Like say I'll use Microsoft Word, for example. And I had a document open already, so let's get rid of all that stuff here. Come on. Select all, delete. Okay. Oops. Oh, my typing skills are horrible. The keyboard feels really nice. It's to be expected with a Logitech keyboard. We use Logitech keyboards. Logitech make really nice keyboards, so there's no surprise that this is a nice keyboard. Feels good to type on. What's nice is also is the fact that you have this further in here, so you have have a rest. And of course, if you want to click this in, now you have it as a Surface-like device. So it is kind of cool. This case is attached to the keyboard. Very nice keyboard indeed. All right, so see how it works. And then of course you have your standard media keys over here. You know your Siri button over here. Stop. Go away, Siri. And then you have your search, which means right back here. Or go back to the application. And then you have your media keys up on top, and key to bring up keyboard and stuff. And you have your lock as well as your volume controls and Bluetooth button and a battery indicator, which gives you the battery light over there. There's not much else on the keyboard itself though. There's no other indicators or anything like that. Layout is really pretty good. Typical layout. The key travel is pretty small, but it's pretty comfortable. It's springy, and it feels quite good to use. So it's actually quite nice. It does make the pad makes your iPad Air a little bit bigger, obviously, because of all the extra padding around it. The one thing, if you're picky, it does not have backlighting. So that's one thing it does not have. It is a non-backlit keyboard. So obviously the keyboard supports turning on and off the device. And as you can see with the thickness of it, your iPad is a bit more sizable. The nice thin profile of your iPad Air 2 is no longer there. So, and you just kind of open it up, and you're back in business again. Pop this out. There you go. So there you have it. Look at the Logitech BLOK keyboard case. It actually is quite nice. Once again, the big draws are the fact that it gives you extra protection with all the shock absorbing construction that's within the body itself. Funny thing, the body feels like it reminds me of the feel of it. Actually reminds me of like an eraser. It kind of has that thick, rubbery, eraser-like feel to it. You may or may not like that, but it does come in some nice colors. Gives extra variety. The keyboard, of course, the nice thing about it is you can detach it. And you'll be able to use it freely. It's Bluetooth, so you don't have to worry about it. The keyboard also is powered by two CR2032 batteries, which is very unique because most other things have rechargeable batteries that require micro USB to run it. This does not require that at all. It's just kind of on off, and you're good to go. Once again, Logitech claims the battery will last 4 years with average usage. That's pretty nice claim to make there, and it does give a good amount of grip there. And I don't know if it'll hold the tablet on by itself. Let's find out. That's what it does. I'm actually dangling it, and it actually does keep it pretty tightly on there. So it's not bad. So it actually is quite strong held together. Now the one thing you can't do with it, it won't flip over. So it kind of won't let you do that with it. So you can't wrap it around as well. Well you can't. Well, no, you can't. All right, sorry, you can't. It's just this material just kind of flops, and you can't do that. So, but nice thing, you can tear it off and not have to worry about it at all. So there you have it. A look at the Logitech BLOK case for the iPad Air 2. It is quite a unique case. It's not a very cheap case though. This combination will run you about $130. But there is a thing. You can always, there is something to be said about you get what you pay for. The keyboard is excellent keyboard. It feels really good to use. It does lack backlighting, so that may or may not be a problem for some folks. The case itself is it's kind of a funny material, but it does look like it offers quite a bit of protection. And having a kickstand is really nice. Some folks complain about, well, why would you need a kickstand on a tablet? Well, you know what? This is really nice to have. You put it on a table, and instead of having it lie flat all the time or having to hold it, this is always a nice thing to have. I'm big on that kind of thing, so I think this is really quite nice. Is it worth it? It depends. The competition is pretty stiff in this sense. There's the other one that I have that I'll compare it to in another video is my Belkin QOD, if that's how you pronounce it, case for the iPad Air 2, and we can take a look at that in a later video. But there you have it. If any questions about this case, please feel free to send me some comments, and if there's something you want to see that I have not shown, let me know. Thanks for watching.